Good morning and welcome to another conversation with Mose. And as always, I pray life is treating you well wherever you are in the world and that you're one day closer to your dreams coming true. And my podcast wouldn't be a podcast without a poem, but I decided to share a poem from the late, great, legendary Langston Hughes. And this poem is called I Too Sing America. I am the dark brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes. But I laugh and eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody'll dare say to me, eat in the kitchen, then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. And that a poem, I just feel like it was very appropriate for the subject matter I chose for today. And it was something I just feel really strongly about, and I kind of wanted to always try to pick subjects that I feel I can really speak strongly about and have some real thoughts. Because I try to, my goal actually is to speak for the everyday man and woman trying to make it through this life as we go through our day to day. Because I feel like a lot of us are going through personal challenges and doing the best we can to get through as best we know how. And honestly, I'm just going to make the mistakes. I'm going to be honest, and I'm always trying to do these podcasts, trying to make them perfect and trying to not say this and did I say too much of that, and really just let it flow and just be transparent and be honest, because I think that's what people have grown to expect from me. But the name of this podcast today is called The High Price We Pay for Living, the Working Poor. And what I mean by that is I honestly believe there are people out there really struggling to get ahead, and that's including myself. You just can't seem to get out of the red, and you're just going through all these challenges, and you seem like every time you get 2 steps ahead, you fall 2 steps back. And I have to be honest, it's been very challenging for me, struggling financially since COVID, trying to bounce back from just financial, other than the word challenge. I don't want to say hard, but I want to encourage people to just be honest with yourselves and the people that we love about what's really going on, and putting our pride into our pocket and really discussing what's really going on with our lives. Because honestly, I go from angry to frustrated, and working in the corporate environment, I want to touch on that a little bit. I truly understand why a lot of companies are suffering from employee shortage and just people not wanting to go to work. And honestly, I don't think it's because people don't want to go to work. I think it's because people really want to be respected for what they bring to the job. And I think a lot of companies are thinking about their bottom line. And I don't know about you guys, but the cost of living has truly affected my life and my pockets. And it has nothing to do with God or spirituality. It's just the way the world has turned to, and I feel like poor people or people that are middle class on down are really suffering. And it's honestly, I don't know how people do it. Families, parents, single moms, single dads, grandparents. I really genuinely pray, genuinely and faithfully, for people that have more challenges than myself. I just been trying to, and when I'm going to skip around, but when you have your own business or businesses, and you're trying to do your creativity and use your funds to do that, it's hard. It's hard. I pray for all the small businesses and all the people out there that are really trying to get ahead. The college students, the ones that are going back to school, the ones that are in school now. It really is hard to maneuver when you have all these financial things that pop up. And I kind of want to back up because one of the biggest things that I really have issue with right now is the being underpaid, and when the world is really going up and your pay is going down. How do you maneuver through that? How do you stay positive at a job when you're you're literally broke? How do you manage your emotions when you just want to live a decent life like everybody else? And to be honest with you, I still owe people money. It's like not a lot of money, but the fact that I'm still walking around feeling some kind of way because I can't pay this person back because of this situation or this bill or that bill. And food. Let's talk about food for a minute. I have never seen food so significantly high in my life. I mean, I've never, grocery shopping just frustrates me. I mean, I truly appreciate being able to buy food, but I just can't. I mean, I have so much respect for my parents now, and when I look back, and when times were tough for us and what my mom would make, and I know how to survive, but aren't we tired of just surviving? I mean, just getting by. I mean, and the other thing that I really don't like is that people that hate on you for wanting more for your life. I've had people say to me, "Oh, you're just thinking about the money." Of course, I'm thinking about the money. It's not about being rich or famous. It's about having a decent living, being able to take a real vacation, being able to celebrate your accomplishments. It has nothing to do with being rich, and you should be worried about the money. You should be able to have a nice savings account. You should be able to put into your retirement. You should be able to take care of your kids without worrying about this bill or that bill or somebody coming to take your house or your car. That's stressful. And then God bless the people that are married, that are trying to keep their marriage together based through financial challenges that you didn't expect. And I honestly, and I'm not talking about the people that want to commit crimes because they can't make ends meet. I mean, I get that desperate times call for desperate measures, but thankfully, I've never resorted to wanting to do that, and I do, strangely enough, I understand why people do the things they feel they need to do. And maybe if I had kids, I don't know what I would do. Honestly, I really don't know. But I'm not as quick to judge people like I once was when it came to just, I get it. I get it. And when fast food restaurants are paying more money than regular corporate jobs, McDonald's is paying more than Walmart, you go figure. And my big issue with even working with jobs, where no matter what you do, you want to enjoy what you do. You want to go to work, no drama, no attitude. You got to deal with racism. You got to deal with managers that's on your back because you're 5 minutes late for work. It's really frustrating. And again, I have my own bouts with frustration, and it's hard because, to be honest with you, I don't have to mention the company or what I do, but I feel very underpaid, like very underpaid. I enjoy my work. I enjoy where I am, and it took me a minute to get this job, to be honest with you. And but my goal is to work for myself. All my money pretty much goes into my creativity. My goal is to work for myself. As you know, I don't like working for other people. I'm just not a fan of it. But I know we all have to do what we have to do. And this podcast really isn't about complaining about the workplace, but what I really want to talk about is I feel like we need to really band together. We need to really be honest with our loved ones and our friends and how we can survive through this period. I'm not going to blame it on the president or the government. I just think we need, as people, all people, just to come together. And if you see a need where somebody needs food, or if you need to be a resource for somebody in terms of where they can get food or get help, then you should be telling them that. And it's like, shame on you if you don't. It's not always about giving people money. It's sometimes, if we know stuff, we can do better. You got food stamps, you got unemployment, showing people how to get those things. Some people don't even know how to get unemployment. Some people don't know how to get food stamps. And I used to have some kind of, I remember government cheese back in the day, and the rice. And, I don't know where my family got that from. My cousins, we had it. I love that government cheese. This was back in the day, but it was like food that was given. Like I said, I don't know much about where it came from or how we got it, but I know it's about surviving. And if you're not telling people how they can be better off in terms, like I said, just something simple as a pantry, you know, I don't know much about that. But again, if I had kids, I'd want to know how to keep food in my house. And we're in that space now. I've gone to the grocery store and chicken breasts are like $20 for like six. It's like, are you crazy? And I don't even eat meat like that. And it really just baffles me that we living in America and you got working poor people. People are working full-time jobs, sometimes two jobs, and still not making ends meet. You don't have time for your family. And then you got a supervisor wondering, why you so quiet and why you got attitude. And you want to tell them. Because honestly, that's how I am. And being an older man, being going on 55, I have a major attitude at work. Because if I come to work and I'm giving you what you're asking for, to be honest with you, I'm a real bitch if I don't get what I'm asking for. My check better be right. All my information better be correct. Because if you don't, I'm calling you on it. Because I think the workplace, they have an expectation. But when you're on your job, make sure they're doing what's right by you. If you're going to be stressed out, making whatever you're making, I'm not saying cause a commotion. I'm just saying you have a right to speak up. And you have a right to look for another job. Because nobody wants to live paycheck to paycheck. And again, I just want to reiterate, we have to be resources to each other. If you see somebody that needs something, just get it. And if you loan somebody $100, I'm not saying don't loan it if you don't have it, for one. For two, I'll say it again, you give money to churches, you give money to organizations that you don't know where that money is going. But if you can give money to your cousin or your friend that needs the money, don't harass them about that money. Again, consider it a blessing. If they give it back to you, great. And I'm not saying going around give people money. But if you really need to really see the money, then ask for the bill. Get a copy of the bill and say, can you pay this for me? It's like, because if you just need to see where the money is going, because people are struggling. And I'm not talking about the people that's trying to get over, the cousin that ain't never had a job, the one that's trying to, those people when you meet them. I'm not talking about giving them anything. But I'm saying the people that really need the help. And it isn't always about the money. It could be, like I said, it could be wisdom. It could be experience, knowledge. My partner is one of the greatest when it comes to finances. He's the only person I'm really not afraid to talk to about money. But in the beginning, I was. I'm not a fan of talking about money, meaning the not having it, the whole process of trying to save it. I'm very prideful. I literally hate asking for money. I hate asking my parents. I hate asking anybody. And I've learned to humble myself. And I'll ask God first to give me permission to ask someone and to give me the words. Literally put my pride aside and say, you know what, I need help. And I know the images that people may see me online and Moses doing this and that. I don't have any money. I'm not rich. I'm not famous. I just use my energy. I know how to be creative. I know how to make things look good. But it's me. It's all me. It's just not an image. That is who I am. And I'm glad people see me as this guy who has all this going on. And I'm great. And to be honest with you, I just think I haven't caught up to my money yet. There's a check out there with my name on it. We just haven't found each other yet. And I believe that. And I'm always going to be striving for excellence no matter what I do. If you see me with a podcast or a book, my stuff is damn sure going to look good. I'm going to make sure of it. I carry myself in a way that I want my name, my brand to mean something. And when people see my name, I want them to associate it with greatness. Yeah, I don't have to, and something my mom told us a long time ago, just because you don't have no money, don't mean you have to look like you don't have no money. So I walk in that. And I have to catch myself some days, honestly, when I'm home alone and I'm out and about in the streets. I do need to take more pride in myself because I was depressed and I wasn't getting my hair cut and I wasn't, I'd go 2 or 3 days without taking a shower when I wasn't working. I didn't have any personal pride. And I knew I couldn't live like that anymore. I had to get up, get out of bed, and do something. And even though I have these financial challenges right now, I know it won't be like this always. And the one thing I pray for faithfully is that I don't want to treat people the way people have treated me. I don't never want to be that because I believe in karma. I do. People have been nasty to me. People have said things, friends that, I needed things. And I'm not necessarily, again, talking about money. It's information. When people share information, it helps because it keeps you from making the same mistakes maybe they made. And again, I just want us to encourage each other to check on those friends, buy some groceries or, help them with a bill, phone bill, even if it's something, again, they'll appreciate it. And when you see people struggling, they shouldn't have to ask you. You can ask them what's wrong, but sometimes just fix it. Fix it for them. Go on and say, you know what? Let me get this for you. Because we're all walking around stressed out in one form or another. And again, this is the time to keep your family close to you. Be honest about what you're feeling and how you're feeling it. Some of us are suicidal. Some of us are really going through. And because we're not being honest with ourselves about what's really going on. But one thing I know for sure is I'm not the only one. I am not the only one going through this transition. And to be honest with you, living in Oklahoma has been challenging because the racism here has been very toxic. Honestly, I lived in Georgia for 32 years and the expectation was different. It was racism there, but here it's just, honestly, I had to kind of get my arms around this part of the country. And I know why a lot of people have left the country to live in other countries to see what it's like to live outside of America. And it's not, to be honest with you, if I had the opportunity, I probably would too. If I could live abroad for a couple years, I probably would. But I do love my country. I just don't always understand it. Why do we're supposed to be the richest country in the world, and there are literally poor people working 2 or 3 jobs, stressed out, barely can enjoy their lives. But I will say this, get your rest. I used to be one of those people that had to work. Just, I'm not Rihanna. It's not one of those situations where I want to work all the time. I believe in rest, disconnecting from your phone, prayer time, sleeping all day when you need to. I don't believe in working all the time. Spending time with God, again, we all need that. And connecting with your family, and being present. When you're not working, be present with your kids. Be present with your significant other. Turn the phone off and just be engaged. Because I promise you, those problems are going to still be there. The bills still got to be paid. Don't worry about it. And do it the best you can. Just make arrangements, whatever you need to do. But you're going to get through it. I just think that we really, again, have to encourage each other. because we really are in a tough space. And if we were really being honest with ourselves about where we are, and I have no qualms with saying that, like I said, I'm not rich. I owe people money now, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to pay them back. And I appreciate the people that have supported me and encouraged me now. I really do. And that being said, I want to talk about my podcast. And if you want to be a patron and support my show, and if you want to click on the link, if you go to podcast or podbeam.com, and I apologize, I'm learning more about being a patron. But what it is basically you can support my podcast and donate, whatever you feel comfortable with, so you can help me take my podcast to the next level. And again, I'll have more information about it, but if you go to podbean.com, a conversation with Mose, and I'll be able to send you the link. Just reach out to me, or like I said, go to the site and you can get more information about it. But as time progresses, as the podcast progresses, I'll definitely keep you in the loop on that. But also, I want to talk about my store, All Things Moetic. I still have my sale going on for Black History Month. So by all means, stop by. My books, my photography, everything's on sale. I have baskets and all that good stuff. And it's definitely a good place, again, for gifts for that unique person in your life, that creative person. And I'm definitely going to have, and also the Mo's conversation with Mo's coffee mugs. I'll have more of those as well. So I would definitely love for you to go by, and so you can have coffee with me while you're drinking your conversation with Mo's coffee mug. I'm really happy that I sold one the other day. Really made my day. But again, I want to reiterate and thank you all for listening and encouraging me. I don't believe you have any idea how much I appreciate the feedback that you give me. And it really humbles me, and I'm grateful, especially at this time. And again, I want to encourage everybody that's kind of going through their own transition. You're not by yourself. Trust me, you're not. And don't, I know this is going to sound crazy. Don't blame God. I mean, we have our issues, and I even go back and forth and question God sometimes. But be honest with you, it's man. These are man-made problems, things that man can fix. People getting harassed about bills and things of that nature. We're going to get through it and choose joy every day. I wake up and I choose joy despite what might be going on in my life. So I want to encourage you to just keep the course. And as I said, you're one day closer to your dreams coming true. And again, I want to thank you for listening. I truly appreciate you. Have a great day.